Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel, where we explore timeless stories and the wisdom they hold. Today, we have a wonderful fable that speaks volumes about pride, humility, and the true meaning of beauty and skill. It's the story of the peacock's pride and the duck's wisdom. Imagine a beautiful garden filled with lush greenery and sparkling ponds. In this idyllic setting lived a peacock. He was, without a doubt, the most magnificent creature for miles around. His feathers were a dazzling spectacle of emerald greens, sapphire blues, and shimmering golds. When he fanned his tail, it was like 1,000 jeweled eyes staring back at you, a breathtaking display that stopped every other animal in their tracks. The peacock was very, very aware of his beauty. He spent his days strutting around the garden, his head held high, looking down on everyone else. He'd find the sunniest spot, spread his glorious tail, and slowly turn, making sure everyone got a good look. "Am I not the most splendid bird in the world?" he would often declare to anyone who would listen. The other animals would nod, some in genuine admiration, others just to avoid his scorn. His pride was as large and as brilliant as his tail. One day, while parading near the pond, the peacock noticed a duck. The duck was playing with simple brown and gray feathers. She wasn't showing off. She was just quietly waddling by the water's edge. The peacock scoffed. The sight of such an ordinary bird offended his grand sense of beauty. He decided it was time to put this plain creature in her place. He strutted over to the duck, fanning his tail to its full, spectacular width. The sunlight caught the colors, making them flash and sparkle. "You there!" he called out in a loud, arrogant voice. The duck stopped and looked at him calmly. "Look at my feathers," the peacock boasted. "Have you ever seen anything so magnificent? They shine with all the colors of the rainbow. And look at you. Your feathers are so dull and plain, covered in the dust of the earth." The duck didn't get angry or flustered. She simply looked at the peacock with her intelligent, steady eyes and replied, "You are right. Your feathers are beautiful. They are a wonder to behold, and no one can deny that." The peacock was pleased, but also a little surprised by her calm agreement. He pressed on, wanting to completely establish his superiority. "My beauty is not just for show," he crowed. "My feathers are admired by all. They are a symbol of grace and royalty. What use are your plain feathers?" This is where the story takes a fascinating turn. The duck's calm demeanor remained, and she responded with a simple, powerful truth. "My feathers may not be as dazzling as yours," she said, "but they have their own purpose, one that serves me well. They allow me to do things you can only dream of." The peacock was taken aback. "Dream of? What could a plain bird like you possibly do that I can't?" he asked, his voice dripping with disbelief and sarcasm. The duck smiled a little. "Well," she began, "with these feathers, I can soar high into the sky, feeling the wind beneath my wings and seeing the world from above." As she spoke, she flapped her wings and effortlessly lifted off the ground, circling high above the stunned peacock before landing gracefully back on the earth. The peacock was speechless. His own massive, beautiful tail was so heavy that he could only manage short, clumsy flights. He could never soar with such freedom and grace. He just stood there, his magnificent tail suddenly feeling more like a burden than a blessing. But the duck wasn't finished. "And that's not all," she continued, waddling to the edge of the pond. "With these feathers, I can dive deep into the cool water to find food and escape from danger." Without another word, she slipped into the pond, disappearing beneath the surface with a quiet splash. She swam skillfully underwater, her webbed feet propelling her with ease, and then resurfaced, shaking the water from her wonderfully waterproof feathers. The peacock watched from the bank, utterly humiliated. He couldn't swim. His glorious feathers would become waterlogged and drag him down. He could only stand by the water's edge and look at his own reflection, a reflection that now seemed a little less perfect. The duck swam back to the shore and stood before the peacock, her plain feathers glistening with water. "So you see," she said gently, "your feathers are for show, and mine are for use. You have beauty, and I have ability. You boast about your appearance, while I am content with my skills. Each of us has our own gifts." The peacock's giant tail slowly folded. For the first time, he felt a sense of shame. He had been so focused on his external beauty that he had completely overlooked the practical skills of others. He saw the duck not as a plain, inferior creature, but as a capable and wise bird. He had judged her by her appearance, and he had been proven utterly wrong. The duck's words echoed in his mind. Each of us has our own gifts. He realized his pride had blinded him. His beauty was a gift, yes, but it wasn't the only gift in the world. The duck's ability to fly high and swim deep were gifts too, perhaps even more valuable in the real world. From that day on, the peacock was a changed bird. He still fanned his tail because it was part of who he was, but he no longer did it with arrogance. He stopped looking down on other animals and started to appreciate their unique talents. He learned that true worth isn't just about what you look like on the outside. It's about what you can do, the skills you possess, and the character you show. This story is such a powerful reminder for all of us. In a world that often puts so much emphasis on appearances, it's easy to fall into the peacock's trap. We might judge others based on how they look, what they wear, or what they own. We might even become proud of our own external qualities and forget to develop our inner strengths and skills. But the duck's wisdom teaches us a vital lesson. Everyone has unique talents and abilities. What might seem plain on the surface can hide incredible depth and capability. True wisdom lies in recognizing and respecting the diverse gifts in others and in ourselves. It's about understanding that substance is just as important, if not more so, than style. Think about it in your own life. Do you ever dismiss someone because they don't seem as flashy or impressive as others? Or do you take the time to see what skills and strengths they have? The quietest person in the room might be the most brilliant thinker. The one with the simplest clothes might have the biggest heart. The story encourages us to cultivate our own duck feathers, our skills, our knowledge, our resilience. While it's fine to take pride in our appearance, we shouldn't let it become the sole source of our self-worth. It's our abilities and our character that will help us soar, swim, and navigate the challenges of life. So the next time you feel the urge to be a peacock, remember the wisdom of the duck. Look beyond the surface, in others, and in yourself. Appreciate the beauty of utility, the power of skill, and the grace of humility. Because in the end, it's not just about having beautiful feathers. It's about being able to fly. What did you think of this story? Let me know in the comments below what lessons you took away from it. I love reading your perspectives. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you enjoyed this fable and the message behind it, please give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel for more stories that make you think. We'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.